Good evening, folks. Welcome to the weekly roundup, which is called That Was the Week That Was. Cheers. Tina's hovering in the background. I'm sure there will be interruptions. In fact, I know there will, because if she doesn't interrupt, I'll have to go away and look at my notes for the week anyway. I'm getting old. It's been a week since the last update. So, what kind of week has it been? Let's kind of summarise the week just in a few sentences first before we break it down and start to go through it. What kind of week has it been? It's been quite a successful week in many ways, I think. A few ups and downs, but there always are. 2 or 3 steps forward, 1 step backwards, which is better than the other way around. 1 step forwards, 3 step backwards. That's not a good place to be. But I think we're winning. Fuck. Sorry, I just jinxed the entire thing, haven't I? No, it's been a good week. So, at the close of last week, when I did the weekly roundup last week, we were on 42 subscribers on YouTube, and I thought there was a good chance, not definite, there was nothing absolute about it, but there was a good chance it would be on 50 by now. For YouTube, that's a magic amount that allows you to apply to be able to live stream, which means click a button and just go live there and then, or announce to your community, hey, on such and such a night, say Friday night, and at such and such a time, 8 o'clock, whatever, hey, I'll go live, and you can be there and you can type and ask me questions and I'll answer the questions, and various other things. Some other features open up around that time, and I was hoping to get there. As I've discussed in the past, just because YouTube allowed me to live stream at 50 users doesn't mean that I want to. You guys all have, you all have real world commitments. You all have other things going on in life. I want to get to, I think I said previously 100 or maybe 150 before I do something live, because then if we can get a third of you in here, if we announce it enough in advance and with enough warning, and if enough of you are actually interested, I've got no idea why you might be, but let's just assume for a second that some of you might be. Then we could take advantage of this feature. I could plan it, program it in advance, and then announce it 4 or 5 days in advance so everyone can kind of schedule it in and be ready for it. And then we can begin, and we can begin this adventure proper. Live streaming is one of the main features, one of the most successful features of YouTube. The pre-recorded videos like you're watching now, those are all well and good. But if you want to build a sense of community, if I want to build a community, if I find my people out there, that's you. You crazy people that are interested enough in a tramp who lives in a field. But if I can find enough of you and draw you in, seduce you to my will, bend you to my ways, then live streams are where it's at. Because, like I said, you get the live chat. You can type questions, you can make statements, you can call me names, and embarrass me and or try, and I can answer you back. You type it, and I prattle on. If you ask a good question, I'll prattle on for a good 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes. So let's just wind back a second from me running away with the possibilities and the future abilities. I was on 42 subscribers and I hope to hit this 50. And here we are today and I've hit 70. Job done. We surpassed surpassed expectations. Here's where it gets a little bit tricky. This morning I released a video of me tickling Tina's tummy, and 3 people subscribed purely on the basis of me tickling the dog's belly. Well, when YouTube recommends this video to them on Monday, probably, if I do my editing job, they're in for a shock, aren't they? They thought they signed up for a tummy tickling video. Oh, incidentally, some people hit the thumbs down on that. That means that they were looking for tummy tickling videos and were disappointed in what they found. I'll leave it to your imagination as to what they might have actually been looking for. But it probably didn't involve dogs. Just saying. People. We come in all shapes and sizes, all kinks and yeah, variations. I suspect those 3 people won't stick around too long once they get a talking to from a tramp. Bloody flies. But yeah, so 42, hoping for 50, and we're on 70 for now. Probably drop down to 64, 65 by the time people have finished realising this is not their bag. And that's alright. I understand that. So that's it. That's one of my successes for the week. That's one. And as I tell you about the rest of the week, we'll maybe look at we'll look at what else happened. So Monday of last week, I kind of stayed in camp. I was releasing the Sunday night video. That was the week that was. Last week's version of this video. And I wanted to, I was doing it on a timed release, which was a fairly new thing for me. I've been editing in the middle of the night and pushing the button and letting stuff go out. And then wondering why YouTube didn't value it after it had 8 hours of nobody looking at it. So I got wise to that and I thought, let's not do that. Just scratching the bottom of my leg. Moscas and mosquitoes. Oh, buggers. I swear Torrevieja Ayuntamiento, the town hall, the local council. I think everybody's saying they don't do enough to, they haven't done enough, for the last 2 or 3 years, they haven't done enough to counteract the flies. You get a bit of rain, and look, I've got 4 flying around my arm just now. Oh, shit. Sorry guys. Sorry. Oh, hands in the way of the camera. It rains, and for the next week you've got flies, like crazy amounts of them. You remember those videos of Ethiopia in the 80s? You remember you'd look at the pictures and wonder why those people didn't, why were they just sitting there with flies crawling around their eyes and their face? He says just as a fly landed on his face. Bastards. You give up after a while. You haven't got enough energy to chase the little buggers. They're so fast. You catch about 1 in 1,000. No matter what that guy on the Karate Kid said with his chopsticks. Go look that reference up if you've got no idea. Mr. Miyagi and his chopsticks. I'm not sure if that was the original one or that might have been Karate Kid 2. I don't know. I'll have to go look up the reference myself now. Monday, staying in the camp while the video was released. I'm just trying to watch the numbers and it's funny, you have to gauge, you have to give it an hour or two, and if absolutely nothing's happening, you have to ask yourself a question. Like, has YouTube just not started putting it out there yet? Or is it putting it out there and nobody's clicking? Do I need to change the thumbnail, the picture, the intro picture for the film, or the intro text? Do I need to change something, or do I just need to wait? So I like to sit around after a big release. These weekly ones are, I think they're kind of important. They're important to me. They matter to me. You know, even if they don't matter to YouTube. This is my chance to say to you, hey guys, I released 10 videos this week, and you only watched one or two. Or you're new here. You don't know who the fuck I am. If that's you, I'm a tramp who lives in a field. I'm an Englishman, kind of trapped in Spain. I got some financial troubles. I got some legal troubles. I just got some troubles. I warned you about the dog, yeah? Tina, no. Excuse me. Okay, folks, I'm back. It's just some teenagers walking past that, well, we know one of them, but they were in the distance approaching, and Tina, I think she recognised the lad, and I had to stop for like 3 or 4 minutes. Basically, she wasn't going to stop until they'd walked past. That's my girl, but she knows the lad, and I think she was just trying to say, "Hey, I'm here, I'm here." But that gave me a chance to look at my notes again because, like I said, I can't remember what's what. I don't know what happened on what day. So Monday in the camp, just monitoring what's happening as the video goes out. But I didn't want to waste the time. And I'd had the idea from the week before to go back and look at some of the older videos and re-edit. As I'm learning about video editing and about the YouTube algorithm, what YouTube likes, I'm learning that some of these videos I do, these day in the life where we go for a morning walk, we go here, we go there, we go at the park, we do this, we do that. It's too many separate topics. And Google stroke YouTube aren't big fans of that. So I decided to go extreme. I went back to my very first video, which was 3 things in one. It was a hello world, here I am. It was a, oh shit, I'm living in in a makeshift, I call it a tent, but it wasn't. It was a shelter. It was a plastic sheet strung over the top of 6 broom handles, mop handles, whatever you want to call them. And it was also a cookery video because I was cooking food in like a 3-day stew. Enough food to get me through 3 days in case the storms were really bad. So the video was all of that in one, and I thought I could separate it out. If I could ignore the food part and show the hello, this is me, hello world, this is where I live, this is how I'm living, oh shit, there's a storm coming, even worse, there's 14 days of storms coming, boom. I thought that might be a good channel introduction. That's when the channel started, it's how it started, it's who I am, why I am, what I am. So that was one intention. And I thought, on the flip side, later in the week I'll come back and I'll repurpose the same video, but with a focus on the food. I'll take all those cookery elements. It'll still need some introductory, hello, here I am, I'm about to cook some food and this is why. Yeah, I still need that little bit. But then the cook and miss out all the other stuff. And I can't tell you how successful that's been. To give you an idea, if you go to my channel page, if you look below this video now where it says down and out in Torrevieja with DeltaMike, is that the right way around? Or is it DeltaMike down out in Torrevieja? Whatever way around, where it says that in dark text under this video, click that. That takes you to my channel page. And somewhere in there, go to videos and go find the oldest video. That's my first video. 45 views, I think. I'm not complaining. You know, why would I don't know why those 45 people watched. They don't know who the hell I am, or why I'm there, or what it's about. If any of you are here now, if any of you that watched that first video and then signed up, do let me know, because that'd be truly amazing. But in reality, 45 only out of the whole world, 6, 8, 10 billion, however many of you there are. 45 of you watched that video first time round. And most of you watched it for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and then got the hell out of Dodge. And fair play. I don't know how to edit a video. I didn't know, I still don't know, but it was my first time. I'd never edited a video in my life before that. And I'm filming it in all these separate clips. I've got the camera in one hand, and I'm trying to do what needs doing with the other hand, and some things need 2 hands. And I didn't think it through in advance, because why would I? I'm a tramp in a field. I don't know shit about editing videos or making videos. So I hived this. I cleaved this video into separate videos. And whilst the reaction is, you know, this is small scale by YouTube standards, it's phenomenal to me. If I give you an idea. So one video that had 45 viewers, recut with the 2 different emphases. The hello, here I am, this is me, this is my channel, I'm living in a tent and there's a storm coming. Versus, hello, there's a storm coming, let's make some food. 45 views on the first video. Separated out and get like 300 views on the channel intro and 200 and something on the cookery video. But not just that, the channel introductory video, the one without the food, when cut down to 6 or 7 minutes, got 9 subscribers. 9 new subscribers. And the food video, which was basically chicken stew without chicken, but where I dumped a load of dead bread, a load of not just stale bread, but dead, like rock hard bread. Broke it up and put that in as a dumpling or crouton kind of thing into the stew. So chicken stew without chicken, but with bread dumplings. I got 8 new subscribers and a couple hundred views. That's incredible to me, that anybody would want to watch. I don't want to demean any of you guys by calling them shit, but you know, you're looking at a tramp cooking food in a field. You were lucky that I had a gas stove, because until then I'd been cooking over literally chopping up wood. Wow. Sorry guys, that took way longer than expected. A couple of things coincided there. Tina, my doggy, but my phone. I cleared a bunch of space this afternoon, like 3 or 4 gigabytes of disk space. So there'd be enough room for this. But then I did a couple of videos about my solar panels, and you can go watch those separately. But the upshot, I didn't leave enough. I ran out of disk space. And now I've just had to go back through and delete. I think it pains me to do this. I've just had to delete every video I've made. Not the final videos. I've deleted all of the shots, all of the assets that go into making the videos. Right up to yesterday. I am so low now on usable workspace on this phone. Because every day there's 1 or 2 gigabytes of the usable, the final product that I want to keep. The video, I hear thunder. So whilst I was sat in camp and editing the video and waiting on feedback from the Sunday video that was being released, we had thunderclouds go over and thunder and lightning happening around us. Tina went crazy because Tina's crazy. Tina doesn't like thunder and lightning. It's part of a long list of about 500 things that I haven't actually put down on paper, but which I'm sure does span 500 items of things that she doesn't like. Things from plastic blowing in the wind. Remember, we used to live under a tarpaulin, blowing in the wind, with rain falling on it, and thunder and lightning going off around us, and fireworks going off around us. Let's get back on track. So there we were in camp, thunderclouds passing overhead, one half of the sky semi-clear, one half of the sky all cloud. The weather app, no mention of any of this shit. The weather app, the Google weather app was just, hey, sunshine. I need to do an entire separate playlist for the Google weather app. I think so. So Wednesday, let's look at Wednesday. Wednesday was another one of these days where I was doing the self-reflection thing. I didn't really want to go anywhere, I didn't really want to do anything. I certainly wasn't in the mood for recording videos. But when I took Tina for a morning walk, I thought it's an easy, it's a seafront. Pull the camera out, point it at the sea, tell everyone how peaceful and tranquil it is, yabba dabba doo. Fred Flintstone, yabba dabba doo. He's the original Homer Simpson. I think the Simpsons get too much credit and the Flintstones don't get enough. Okay guys, you caught me with the glasses. Take them off for this bit. They'll probably appear and disappear throughout the video. I'm getting low on power at the minute and also running out of disk space, so I'll have to maybe rush through some of these a little bit. There's a few days in the week where nothing much really happened, in terms of me going anywhere or doing anything. But what I did do with some of that time was look through older videos and try and repurpose them. I've already said about making the intro video for the channel from the non-cooking parts of the first video I ever did. But I also separated out the cookery parts of that video and released that later in the week. It took longer, there was more clips to string together, a little bit of editing. Not that I do much in the way of editing, but just gluing the clips together and cutting things out. And so that got released, I think that was the Thursday that got released. And while I was doing that, while that was uploading, I I looked through another video and took out a couple of clips of just me talking away and released those as shorts, um, just as quick under 60-second videos. I had to crop them into the upright format, you know, the TikTok kind of format for YouTube Shorts. But those went out, and those all did okay. Tina, shush. Those went out. Those did all okay. Now here's where things get a little bit confusing for me. I can't remember what day some of these things happened on. Yeah, sometimes I do something and release the video that same day, say at 10 o'clock at night or something. And other times I release the video the next day. So even looking back on YouTube, there's confusion as to which day. But I think it was the Thursday that we went for the walk into La Mata. Could have been Friday. I can't be. The days are merging and my note taking isn't really happening. I'm trying to reconstruct notes after the event for these chats and it's getting silly. Gonna have to do a better job. Tell me off. But we had a lovely walk into La Mata. Tina struggled a little bit with the heat, but we kept stopping for shade, and I always take plenty of water and refreshments, and her little collapsible drinking bowl. So she was, you know, she doesn't like the heat, but she's not in any, you know, there's no danger. We stop for shade periodically. She has a long stop, like you see in that video. We stopped for 1 hour in one spot. And she, like I said, plenty of refreshments. And I have a spray bottle of water to damp her down. She's always hated water, so that's a little bit of a struggle. She sees that as some kind of punishment. But I think she's coming to understand that it means a relief from the heat. So she's starting to like it a little bit more. It's only taken 6 years. Yeah, that's my girl. Here's another one of those confusing bits. I thought I did a short video on the temperature inside the tent one day. We hit a new record, 48 point something, 2, 3. I thought that was when we came back from the walk in La Mata. But apparently not, because it was released as a video 2 days earlier. So that must have been a different day, different time. Don't remember the details. It's all merging together. Now what I do remember is that on the last day of June the 30th, which I think was Friday, was it? Yeah, that would make sense. So on Friday, I just had one of those kind of looking back kind of thoughts about how they were halfway through the year, and 6 months previously would be like kind of New Year's Eve, and in 6 months' time will be Christmassy. And so I pondered like my situation here this last Christmas in this field, before we even had, well, certainly before we had any kind of real tent, but it was even before we had a big tarpaulin to use as a makeshift tent. All we had was a little tarpaulin just to use as a waterproof sheet over the top of the bed, which wasn't even a mattress. It wasn't a proper mattress. It was just a sunbed mattress, a thin, couple of inches thick, padded thing. So that I had that pondering, looking back, looking at where we are, and looking forward to what's to come. So that was a video, like I said, recorded on the Friday, and I think that one I definitely released late at night, like I think about 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock on that Friday, and it did really well for an hour or two, and then of course everybody's in bed. So then you've got that problem again of YouTube trying to decide come 8 or 9, 10 o'clock the next morning, what do they do with this video that did well for an hour and then it died for 8 or 9 hours. Now fortunately it picked up a little bit late, you know, in the day, and it got up to a couple of hundred views. But it looked to have a lot more promise than that when it was first released. That's always a thing. Yeah, that's always but because the video was a kind of a Happy New Month kind of thing, you know, kind of out with the old, in with the new, I felt that keeping it back until 10 or 11 o'clock in the next morning, I don't know, it didn't feel like the right thing to do. We'll see, I'll learn. Maybe next time I will do that. Maybe I will hold them back. I always like to get them out the door though, get them released. But I think last thing at night just doesn't work as well. Yeah. So maybe I won't do it that way in future. Okay, that brings us up to Saturday. And now I realise that a little while ago I moved the phone down onto the table lower for something and never moved it back. So here it is back up. God, I'm going to have a job editing this shit together, aren't I? Okay, Saturday was another one of these days where you've kind of seen it all before. We had to get out of camp, it was too warm, so we went to the park. I did a silly quick little, Tina was rolling on the floor and you know, with her legs in the air, so I went in for a tummy tickle, and I managed to do a little bit, you know, camera in one hand and tickling the dog with the other, and I managed to do you know, just a quick 30 or 40-second video of her. I mean, it's blurry, it's out of focus. Some of the shots, my hands, you know, because she's wriggling, she's not even in shot kind of thing. But I managed to cut something together and release that as a quick short for kind of dog lovers out there. I'm not a fan of the shorts, but Google stroke YouTube, they're wanting to compete with TikTok, so that's where their emphasis is. If you don't release shorts, you're less likely to get your other videos out there. So I figure release a few shorts, even if they're something and nothing, just to keep YouTube interested, and maybe catch the odd subscriber. So I released that as a short, and I you know, it got more views than my previous shorts had got. And this is the thing, it's building over time. Each time I release a short, most of the time, the general trend is upwards. You start off and you're getting 5 or 10 people watching, and the next one you'll get 20 or 30. And at the minute I'm getting, you know, between for most 1 and 200. Occasionally I'll get 300 watch a short. A little bit of inside baseball here, a little bit of an inside secret. I'm no longer recording this on Sunday night. I mean, I will be in future, but this that you're watching now didn't get finished on Sunday. Too many interruptions and things happening, and Tina going daft, and people and car horns and burglar alarms. So I aimed to do it Monday night, and that never happened. So here we are, this is now Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday early evening. And I've just released, the reason I'm telling you that is because I've just released a short, just to an example of that trend of shorts, of the videos I release getting more viewers each time. I just released one today. It's a recut of, the reason I'm talking about this is because it's basically, it started as the same video that I released on Saturday of a Tina tummy tickle. But I was playing with some new software yesterday, and I reversed the footage, and you can't tell. It's literally played backwards, and still looks like just somebody tickling their dog's tummy. And then I put an audio track behind it, just a comedic kind of, you know, just a silly bit of music. And I don't know why, I just really liked it. I think I said in the description of that video, it tickled me. Something about Tina wriggling and the fact that it's been played backwards, and then it's got this comedic music. Even though I'm no good at editing videos, I've never done it before, I liked what I came up with there. And it looks like the rest of the world kind of did, because that's just been viewed by 900 plus as things stand. It's leveled off now, and if it follows the pattern that they usually do, it'll get picked up again, and there'll be another little hike later. So as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. Tina. Re-released the same video played backwards with an audio track, 900 plus views. And if it's leveled off now, but if the previous patterns are to be followed, in a few hours time there'll be another, you know, YouTube will put it out there again and test the waters again, maybe with a different audience. And I expect a little bit of a bump. So hopefully I could be looking at my first video with above 1,000 views, even though it's a short and not a real video. I think my top real video has now crossed the 400 threshold, but it's slow going. Yeah, but you know, things are looking up. Things are moving in the right direction. I'm learning new little tricks and things with editing and with using the software. So we'll see how that goes. So Saturday was also the, I think it was the first time I mentioned on video that I've got a problem with my that I had a problem with my solar panels. The surface of a couple of the panels was crackling and flaking and going cloudy, and reducing the amount of sun getting through to the panel and generating electricity. And I while I was in the park, I recorded the beginnings of an experiment where I was testing how much power I was getting from the panels to the phone over a 1 hour period, or a 2 hour period it was going to be. And I recorded the beginning of that, but not the end, because I was so annoyed. Somewhere between an hour and a half and 2 hours in, and I'd added 7 percentage points to my phone. In what should have, in a period that would normally have got somewhere around 20%. So we were looking at a third or so of the original output. Clear sunny day, no shade. So I did a little video, you know, I included that and a quick explanation of the problem I was facing. I also did a quick video just saying, hey, we've got a Twitter account. You can follow us. Mainly, it's just me saying, hey, new video. You know, here's a link to a video, and linking back to some of the old ones. But there's a bit of other stuff there, people I follow, and some of the videos that or the YouTube channels that I follow. Obviously I reach out and there's a little bit of interaction with them occasionally. It's only occasional at the minute. I'm toe dipping. I'm not really a big Twitter fan, but it's something. So if you do want to follow me, it's DeltaMike Torre, T-O-R-R-E. So DeltaMike Torre. It's the Twitter account. They didn't allow Torrevieja. You're limited, I think, to 14 characters. So yeah. So we're there if you want to try that and interact. Please do. Feel free. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of it, but if you want to reach out and say hello, it's there to do. So that takes us to Sunday, and when this video began, it's been a good day. It was. I'm not going to pretend it's still Sunday. It was a good day. I took Tina up to the park, the Torre del Morro Park. We perched there under a tree on a wall for a few hours. I set up the solar. Oh, before I went, I scrubbed the solar panel. I took the surface off one of the panes, one of the panels. And I wasn't sure whether that was going to kill it entirely. It was a kind of a make or break thing. I took the gamble. I'd taken bits had come off under my fingernail in the passenger car on working, so it wasn't a reckless gamble. But I took some toothpaste. Toothpaste is a mild abrasive. Used to use it to clean CDs and DVDs back in the day. When you get the scratches, and you can do it with your glasses, your eyeglasses, reading glasses, especially if they're plastic. If you've been wiping them, but not with, if you wipe them like most people do on a t-shirt or something, and over time they get a little bit cloudy, don't they? The little micro scratches from using fabric that's not a microfiber. All you can do is put a little speck of toothpaste on either side of the glass, and take a cloth, and just between your fingers, just rub it. And if you do it long enough, you can clear the scratches away and make them. Like I say, it works best with the plastic ones if you've got the cheapo, off-the-shelf reading glasses. But it will actually work with glass as well. It just take a lot longer, have less of an effect. But toothpaste, yeah, it's a useful stuff. But I used it on one of the two panels that were cloudy and cracked, and a little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of force. But I took that outer surface off and took it up to the park. We had a lovely walk and a normal afternoon in that park. Shush. Tina! Sit! Tina! Sit! Sit! Now! Thank you. Remind me to edit this bit out. She's a darling, really. Okay. Take the surface off the top of the solar panels. Go for a nice walk and sit in the park for a few hours. The different park, the Torre del Morro. And while I was there, I reran the experiment from the day before that I didn't fully record. And this time I did record and took screenshots of the power level on the phone before plugging the phone in and after, during and after. And we're back up to just over 10%, 10 percentage points on my phone for each hour that it's plugged into the solar panel. So that's good that I rescued it. Even better, one of you guys out there, actually a couple, but saw my video saying I was having trouble with the solar, and has made a generous offer to provide me with a small solar panel and a battery that they used to use but no longer do, and that I can have the use of that, and it's got USB outlets, so that's not as portable. I mean, that would be a stay in the camp thing, but that gives me the ability, doesn't it? If you imagine that battery can be charging up through the day, my phone can be being charged while I'm out and about, and I can use it more, knowing that there's a reliable power source here when I get back. So that'll kind of revolutionise things again. That will mean no. have a tendency of not using the screen through the day, partly because it's difficult to see, but partly because I would have to turn the brightness up full to be able to see anything, and having it up full means it uses a lot more power. My typical estimates are that with the screen on full brightness through the day, it goes through about 10 percentage points per hour of the it burns through the battery at 10% for every hour that the screen's on. Whereas at night, when I use it, I can be watching videos and doing things, and it can be doing quite active things. It can be compressing videos and working with videos and the screen on, and it uses 5% per hour, even when doing intensive tasks at night. So there's a big difference there. But it would mean, like I said, that I could start the day with the phone fully charged, be out and about, have my portable solar panels for charging it and topping it up while I'm out, and knowing that when I get back there's a full charge waiting. And that's incredible, and it's such an incredibly generous offer as well. So you guys are I've obviously I'm touching a nerve with people out there. I'm getting emotional. It's incredible to me that the generosity of people, the amount of help that I'm getting now. It is. I'm not going to cry. You can wait, but it's not going to happen. But there's something here. More news on this kind of thing, because I've had another incredible offer. Yeah, some of you in the comment section you'll have seen, but I'll save that for this week's video, because, like I said, it's Tuesday night and I'm recording what should have been Sunday's video about last week. You get me. Okay guys, I need to wrap this up because I haven't got the battery power and I haven't got the storage space. It's going to be a battle to find the storage space for the final video that gets output at the end of this. Okay guys, from Tina and from DeltaMike, out.